Now then YouTube, I'm the Toffman and welcome to a brand new mod spotlight on my channel for Forbidden Magic by Spiteful Fox. Spiteful Fox is a brilliant guy and a really nice guy as well to boot. And Forbidden Magic, what is Forbidden Magic, guys? Well, it's a Thaumcraft add-on. You are going to need Thaumcraft for this. Luckily, I'm in one of my Thaumcraft worlds and I've got some stuff going on in there. I'll show you that soon. But first and foremost, guys, what is Forbidden Magic all about? Well, basically, it's the dark side of magic. There's a bit more darkness about it. There's more nether items. It's all about the I would hesitate to say evil side of magic, but we'll get into some of the items and some of the bits and bobs that you can get within Forbidden Magic. As always, there's a link in the description below to the forum page where you can find the download link for this particular mod. Please remember that this one I'm doing, this spotlight, is on 1.7.2. There is a version for 1.6.4, but it is an older version, so I would think that the older version that's for 1.6.4 will have some, the same things. However, there'll be more things that's been added in for 1.7. So without further ado, guys, let's get on with the mod spotlight for Forbidden Magic. First and foremost, guys, I would like to point out that there are 7 new aspects on top of the base aspects from Thaumcraft. Basically, you have 7 new aspects. You've got Decidia, which is sloth, laziness, or procrastination. You have, looking through here, you've got Gula, which is gluttony, consumption, or indulgence. Now, you will notice a particular theme through here, and we'll get to that very soon. Infernus, which is the Nether, demons, and hellfire. You've got Invidia, which is envy, jealousy, and insecurity. You've got Ira, which is wrath, anger, or rage. We have, moving forward, we've got Luxuria, which is lust, desire, or excess. And last but no means least, Superbia, which is pride, arrogance, and disdain. Those are the 7 new aspects that you will find within Forbidden Magic. As always, guys, the Thaumanomicon has an extra tab just down here called the Apocrypha. Now, this Apocrypha is the page for Forbidden Magic. All of the items that are in Forbidden Magic will be inside here. So, without further ado, let's go to the ones at the very beginning, because I've got a cheat sheet here. I've got literally everything is unlocked right from the start. However, right at the start, you will want to go towards looking into nether shards and the riding crop. Now, the nether shards themselves, if we have a look at this, strange energies swirl through the nether. On occasions, they have been known to solidify into crystal shards when certain sympathetic events occur. These crystals are imbued with different vices and have many uses for more unscrupulous thaumaturges. There are 7 documented types of nether shard, each attuned to a different deadly sin, which is exactly what I said when I said about the new aspects. You'll notice the theme that they are, in fact, the 7 deadly sins. We've got 7 different types of shards that you will be able to find only specifically in the nether. You cannot get them anywhere else. He is, I think, muting the idea of maybe being able to create something within Mistcraft so that you can find them in a particular nether age in Mistcraft. But again, that's muted, it's not in the actual mod. Okay, let's have a look. Wrath shards crystallize around acts of violence. The more excessive the physical force used, the more likely it is for a wrath shard to appear. Sloth shards congeal when proxies and accidents are used to collect resources without effort. Envy shards are taken from those who have them by those that covet them. Taken from those who have them by those that covet them. We'll get into that in a second. I'll explain exactly what this is, and it is going to be spoilers, guys. I've got to say this straight off. Pride shards materialise when a creature of truly great power is cut down to size. More sympathetic events may reveal themselves as time goes on. So basically, guys, I can tell you where you can get 5 of them, but there are 2 others that you cannot get through normal means. So the Wrath shards, which is crystallise around acts of violence. Basically, you kill mobs with swords, with anything. You can kill a mob with anything. You can even kill a mob with a bow, and it will be able to drop one of these wrath shards. It's got a chance of dropping one of those wrath shards. The sloth shards, you can see, congeal when proxies and accidents are used to collect resources without effort. In other words, guys, unlike the Wrath shards, you cannot get the Wrath shards through like mob traps and so on and so forth, unless there's a workaround somewhere along the line that classes as physical harm. But the sloth shards are the other way around. You do not kill them physically. You've got to get something that has killed them for you. Maybe the lava's killed it, or maybe it's fallen off a cliff or something like that. And basically, that's where you can get sloth shards from, because it's you get that without effort. Envy shards are taken from those who have them by those that covet them. Taken from those who have them by those that covet them. Basically, guys, zombie pigmen. Zombie pigmen will have some envy shards on them. Again, I think it's a random chance. You kill a zombie pigman, and rather you than me. Kill a zombie pigman and it will drop envy shards. Pride shards materialise when a creature of truly great power is cut down to size. You can only get pride shards if you kill a boss in the Nether. Anything that has a HP bar can be killed and gained with pride shards for that. Now it says more sympathetic events may reveal themselves later on. The lust deadly sin, the lust shards that you can get, you've got to flog a mob with a riding crop. Now I'll show you that in just a second. That's another one that's you will want to unlock straight away. You can do that. Now the greed and gluttony can't be acquired in this type of way. There is no way of getting it at the moment. Actually, to reiterate on a certain point there, greed and gluttony can actually be acquired, but not through normal means. You've got to have the enchantment for corrupting, which is down here, and we'll get into that enchantment anyway further on down the spotlight. But once you've got that on a pickaxe, and you can mine up the shards, you'll have a random chance of dropping these nether shards within normal shards. But again, we'll get to that when we get to the actual enchantment. But that is the only way of getting greed and gluttony at the moment. Next on the list, guys, is the riding crop. Now the riding crop can be found just underneath the nether shards right here. Now you're going to need this, of course, to be able to get the lust shards. A riding crop is, as its name suggests, a tool to use to motivate mounts to move faster. Right clicking with it in your hand whilst riding a horse or other mount will give the mount a quick lash of pain and cause it to move faster for a little while. You could hit other creatures with the crop too, but what would possess you to do something like that? Well, to get lust shards, obviously. A couple of sticks, guys, and a piece of leather will get you the riding crop, and that is, again, you're going to need that to be able to get the lust shards, but you can also, you can smack some horses or pigs or whatever it is that you're riding, and they will go faster for, inflicting pain on them. Now, looking at this page straight off, I've obviously researched everything, but when you get to this page, guys, if you haven't used Forbidden Magic before, you will notice a couple of symbols on my page that aren't on your page. One of them is a Tainted Wand core, and another one is down here, the enchantment for Fiery core, of course, because Chameleon tools will be there. And I think that there is one more, and that is the Diabolist's Fork. Now, we're going to start right up at the top here with the Infernal Wand Core. Now, the Infernal Wand Core is actually very, very nice indeed. It is quite expensive to get at the start. You're going to need a Wither Skeleton Skull, Soul Sand, Nether Quartz, Blaze Powder, Salis Mundus, and the two things that are going to be the hardest to get are the Pride Shards, of course, because you've got to defeat a boss in the Nether to be able to get those Pride Shards. Now, you're going to need a Blaze Rod in the middle, and that will get you the Infernal Rod, as long as you've got 32 Infernus, 12 Precantatio and 12 Superbia to be able to get that Infernal Rod. A great and powerful thaumaturge like you deserves a powerful and imposing wand befitting your station. Some hippie silverwood wand just won't cut it. You need a wand that will serve as your scepter of authority. You've discovered a way to create a wand infused with the power of the Nether. The Infernal Wand Core can hold up to 150 Vis and will slowly replenish its supply of Ignis up to 20%, while within the Nether, the wand will also replenish its other aspects to 10%. and that is the Infernal Rod. Now it's also got another piece of information here which is actually very good for the Nether. The wand also imbues you with some protection from the Nether's hazards, extinguishing you if you are on fire or protecting you from the effects of withering as long as it's in your inventory. While the wand is held in your hand, it will completely protect you from all fire damage. So let's give this a test, guys. I've got it here in my inventory. Let's have a look. I've just got it in my inventory. I've not got it in my hand. There we are. I'm not on fire, which is a plus. Now I'm going to hold it in my hand. And there you go. I still get the hitting effect, but I don't die. I've got all my hearts still together, and that's pretty awesome. That is the thermal. That is the Thaumium embossed Infernal wand. So in other words, it's the Infernal wand core with the Thaumium caps. So as you can see on there, that's what it looks like when it's rendered on the top of the work table. Now keep an eye on that, guys, because there's a couple of other ones in this mod that have got absolutely spectacular little graphics upon that. So that is it. That's the Infernal wand core. Now the next thing on the list that you will want to get yourselves, guys, is the Shovel of the Purifier. And that basically, once you've got that, will unlock the Tainted wand core, which is one of the hidden ones from right at the start there. So once you've got the Shovel of the Purifier, this is a pretty nice tool, guys. Sometimes the easiest way to remove patches of taint is just to physically remove them. By reinforcing a Thaumium shovel with silverwood and order shards, you've created a tool capable of combating taint. The Shovel of the Purifier can dig through pulpy tainted lands as effectively as it can through normal earth. If held in your hand and right-clicked, the shovel can cures you of flux taint at the cost of durability. It requires a diamond, 2 order shards and a silverwood log with a Thaumium shovel in the middle, 12 Perforio, 8 Sano and 24 Vitreous. It's a moderate instability in the arcane infusion. When digging through taint with the shovel, there's a chance that the twisted energies released with it will crystallize into taint shards. Unlike other tainted materials, the crystalline pattern keeps these shards stable enough to carry around. So this is why you have to have this one first before you can get the taint core. Shovel of the Purifier, and then the Tainted wand core. Now the Tainted wand core, you can see these taint shards, and this is what I mean about that's why you need the shovel first. Now the Tainted wand core itself, some people may find this useful. I personally don't spend that long within taint to maybe find this useful. However, the mod lends itself to this type of wand, and this is fantastic, guys. Listen to this. Tainted lands are places of great and terrible power for those thaumaturges who know how to tap into them. The Tainted wand core can store up to 150 Vs of each type and slowly replenish itself up to 10% in every aspect as long as it's being held within inside of a tainted land. While the wand is held in your hand, it can also feed off taint coursing through your veins, randomly restoring Vs every time you take damage from flux taint. You're going to need a piece of Salis Mundus, you're going to need 6 pieces of taint shard with a taint tendril in the middle, you're going to need 12 Peditio, 12 Precantation, 24 Vitium, along with the instability of moderate there to get the Tainted Rod. Now remember, guys, that one is a good one to have if you're going to spend a lot of time when you're kicking around inside tainted biomes. Now the next thing on the list is the Pickaxe of Distortion. Now this thing, you don't have to actually unlock the Shovel of the Purifier first. It's there is another line underneath there that you can't see. But the Pickaxe of Distortion, guys, by infusing a Thaumium pickaxe with taints, you create a tool capable of cutting through difficult materials. The Pickaxe of Distortion infects hard materials with taint, weakening them. The harder the material, the more effective the pickaxe is at removing it. Unfortunately, the effects of the taint have an inverse effect when mining softer materials, rendering the pickaxe less effective than just pawing at the block with your bare hands. And believe me, guys, sometimes it depends what you're mining, but it actually is faster to use your bare hands. So the Pickaxe of Distortion is created with 2 Entropy shards, a diamond and a greatwood log with the Thaumium pickaxe in the middle, along with 8 Peditio, 8 Perfodio and 12 Vitium. So negligible instability, so it's not that hard to make. And I've got one in my inventory here. Now, for some reason, and I would have thought that this thing would just tear up diamond ore, but apparently not. Apparently it takes just as long as what it does doing a normal stone block than it does with a diamond block. I don't know. That sounds weird to me. I've thought that it would absolutely tear through it. However, the hardness of obsidian, for example, mined really easily, really quickly, and that is why the little tooltip in there says Obsidian Buster. Now the next item on the list is the Axe of the Skulltaker. This thing is pretty cool. I like this. Some monsters just really boil your blood. Skeletons always clacking around and using you for target practice. Or there's creepers that just creep around blowing things up like they own the place. You wish you could just chop off all their smug heads off and place them on pikes. Fortunately, you've discovered an item that will let you do just that. The Axe of the Skulltaker has a chance to remove the heads of monsters it slays. It might even work on other humans. Unfortunately, the infusion leaves the axe far too bloodthirsty to effectively cleave through boring plant matter. And it's crafted with 2 wrath shards, a thaumium axe in the middle there with a diamond and with a skeleton skull around there as well. And that is the Axe of the Skulltaker. Don't forget, you're going to need 8 Infernus, 8 Ira and 8 Tellum to be able to get that. That is the Axe of the Skulltaker. The next item on the list is Thaumic Cake. Now I'll tell you something, guys. If there was ever a cake in Minecraft that needed to exist, it is the Thaumic Cake. Let's take a look at it. If there's one thing that you'll love, it's cake. You would eat its delicious goodness all day if you could, but it always runs out in the end. To remedy this, you have devised a recipe to infuse a cake with longevity-enhancing magic. The Thaumic Cake lasts significantly longer than a mundane one and will slowly repair itself, as long as there is at least a sliver left. The enchantments are unstable, however, and the cake cannot be moved again through conventional means once placed down. You can make it with Salis Mundus, 2 eggs, 2 sugar, milk, and of course a cake in the middle. 24 Fabrico, 24 Fames, and 12 Gula will get you the Thaumic Cake. I cannot wait to be able to get one of those. Okay, the next item on the list is the Wrath Cage, and that's right here, guys. Now, you won't see the Diabolist's Fork until you've unlocked the Wrath Cage. Sometimes it's not enough to just kill something. Sure, slaying a single monster may be rather cathartic, but imagine just mowing down a crowd of the obnoxious little jerks. To that end, you've discovered a way to recreate the monster spawners found in the ancient ruins. Unlike the original monster spawners, the Wrath Cage responds to redstone controls instead of the presence of human beings and can run much faster than the ancient devices. Now there's a few more bits and bobs I'd like to go into first. 4 Wrath Shards, 4 Diamonds, 3 Warded Jars, and a Thaumium Block in the middle with 32 Bestia, 32 Ira, 16 Machina, and 32 Precantatio. It's dangerous instability, so it's not going to be easy to craft, guys. Now, moving on, there is a few bits and bobs that you will need to know. However, you haven't been able to duplicate the original method of infinite creation. For every creature spawned, the Wrath Cage requires a bit of Essentia piped into its internal reserves. The device will accept different types of Essentia depending on the creature it is attuned to. Alternatively, piping Ira into the cage can serve as a fuel. The cage can also accept Decidia for some reason. Well, Decidia is the sloth one, so that would make sense. Right-clicking the Wrath Cage with the Diabolist's Fork will cycle the cage between the different fuel types, changing which Essentia it applies suction to. Now we'll get to that in a second as well. To attune a Wrath Cage to a specific creature, right-click on it with an imprinted crystal. Slaying a compatible creature with a Diabolist's Fork whilst carrying the blank imprinting crystal will attune the crystal to that monster. So basically you chuck a diamond in with 10 Cognitio and 10 Potentia, and it ends up like what the old soul shards did. A blank imprinting crystal, and then you kill a mob with the fork, and then you will get an actual imprinted crystal. Now, to get the Diabolist's Fork, you're going to need 3 Nether Quartz, a redstone, and a Thaumium Sword, 8 Infernus, 8 Machina, and 8 Potentia. You've created a tool to help you tinker with various infernal contraptions. The quartz prongs on the Diabolist's Fork allow it to attune itself to arcane energies. Along with being used to tune devices, the fork also makes for a functional weapon. More information should appear in the following pages as you uncover more research. If the Diabolist's Fork is used to slay a compatible creature with a blank imprinting crystal in your inventory, it will imprint on the crystal. The imprinted crystal can then be used to attune a wrath cage to that monster. The fork can also be used to adjust which Essentia type a wrath cage is using for fuel. Simply right click on the wrath cage with the diabolist fork to cycle between the 3 different fuel types. Let's give this a little whirl then. We've got the wrath cage in front of us. We've also got a chicken imprinted crystal, which you can see requires volatus. Now we can put that in there, and it's not spinning, it's not doing anything. It requires some vis. So let me set something up really quickly. Oh yeah, the diabolist's fork, guys, can switch between the different fuels. Am I doing it wrong? It's not telling me. Here we are. I've got it set up now, guys. We've got volatus, I think, in there. Well, if we haven't, we're going to have some soon. And that is what this requires. Now, it's currently turned off. If we turn this on, it starts spinning. And then it will start spawning some stuff. And of course, you can do this with different animals, different mobs, and so on and so forth. And you can get yourself a nice little monster spawner run off aspects, which is great. How large is that? The wrath cage. Okay, the next thing I want to get into, guys, is the Chameleon tools. I'll get to that in just a second. But the Chameleon tools are absolutely fantastic. I love this idea of these Chameleon tools. Now, what I would suggest you do is go and get the enchantments first before getting these Chameleon tools, because, man, you are going to have so much fun with these things. So the Chameleon tools are like 3 tools in one. When first enchanted, right-clicking while sneaking with the tool in your hand changes it to a blank new enchanting slate, allowing you to enchant it with a completely different set of enchantments. Each tool can hold up to 3 separate enchantment sets and can be alternated by right-clicking while sneaking. I'll show you this anyway in just a second what it means by that. The tools have no innate way to remove enchantments once fully enchanted, so make each enchantment count. And you can get the Chameleon pickaxe, which is 2 envy shards, silverwood log, quicksilver and diamond with a Thaumian pickaxe, 16 instrumentum, 16 invidia and 32 permutatio, and so on and so forth. But changing the middle for sword, shovel, and the axe there as well. Now, basically, what it means by getting these enchantments, let me just get one together and I'll show you. Now, bear in mind, guys, I only have done this with a pickaxe. You can obviously do it with a sword, you can do it with a shovel, and you can also do it with the axe as well. This is a fantastic idea. Now, if you have a look at it currently, it's got a little red blob on the top, which means it's on the red set of enchantments. Now, I've gone ahead and I've put 3 different sets of enchantments on this pickaxe. Just as an example, they're all random ones. They're not necessarily ones that you would use together. At the moment, we're on Treasure 3, Potency 3, and Eternal 3. That's on the little red blob. If we shift and right click, we'll turn to a blue blob, and you will see we've got 3 different entirely enchants on there. Silk Touch 5, Efficiency 5, and Unbreaking 5. If we do it again, shift and right click, we've got a yellow blob now. And we've got Fortune 5, Consuming 5, and Corrupting 5. You can get 3 different types, and that's only, you can get 3 different sets. But don't forget, guys, you cannot get these back off, so make sure that you've got the right type of enchant that you want on there. Which is why I said to you guys, it's probably a good idea to get these things first, and we'll go into more detail on them soon. But those are the Chameleon tools. Without a doubt, I think that those are my favourite items. Now, there's a couple of things that this mod adds in as well. You've got Emerald Transmutation, which will basically allow you to transmute emeralds. You can put an emerald fragment in with 2 lucrum, 2 vitreous, and you get 4 emerald fragments back, which is pretty decent. Also, it will allow you to do something with the Nether. Getting stranded in the Nether is the worst. You go through all the trouble of grabbing what you need, but before you can go home, some stupid gas decides to rain on your parade by blasting the portal shut. Sure, this can be amended by carrying a flint and steel around, but who actually walks around with those things? You've discovered a way to use vis in your wand to light fires on certain materials. Right click with a focusless wand in your hand on the top of the netherrack or obsidian to light a flame using some ignis from your wand. And there you go, Lord of Hellfire. Now, there is also something called an umbral rose. There is no sight more pathetic than a soggy thaumaturge. For all your great and miraculous powers, you still have to go jump in the nearest lake and hunt for squids every time you want to refill your inkwell. You're done squid hunting. By infusing a rose with tenebrae and victus, you create a flower that spreads like a weed and whose petals can be crushed for ink. Shove a poppy in with 5 tenebrae and 5 victus and you'll get an umbral rose. The umbral rose can then be put into a workbench and you can get 2 shadow ink, which basically works like an ink sac. Now, you can also get what's called crystal scribing tools. These are pretty good. Combining elemental shards with your inkwell results in some interesting effects. The crystal scribing tools seem to absorb knowledge as you use them to write. Once the well is empty of ink, you can absorb this knowledge for a small burst of research points by holding the tools in your hand and right-clicking. Unfortunately, this burns the tool out and turns it back into a mundane scribing tool again. Unfortunately, I can't show you this in action because I've already got everything. Of course, because I've cheated all. But I've already got everything. There's nothing left for me to go and research, so there's nothing left for me to do. Scribing tools, along with an ink sac or shadow ink, and any 2 of these shards, along with 2 of every base aspects, will get you the crystal scribing tools. Last but no means least, guys, we are going to get ourselves onto the enchantments. The fiery core is going to be the last one. We're going to move through these first. The enchantment for consuming. Sick of having to empty your pack of worthless junk? You've devised an enchantment that will automatically destroy common unwanted materials. Any cobblestone, dirt, gravel or netherrack mined by a consuming tool will be destroyed instead of falling to the ground. Consuming 1 is an iron pickaxe, lava bucket and salis mundus with 8 frames, 8 instrumentum and a vacuous of 8. You can put it up to 3 levels, so you can have up to consuming 3, I believe. I think, maybe? Not quite sure what that means, 3 levels there. I think it would be up to 3 levels, maybe. And that is an instability of minor. The enchantment Porcivore? Is it Porcivore or Porcivore? Either which, Porcivore probably. Zombie pigmen think they're so great. They're always stomping around the nether, ganging up on innocent travellers. It's time someone put a stop to them. Weapons with the Porcivore enchantment or Porcivore will do excessive amounts of damage to pigs and zombie pigmen. You can see that this is actually going through them here, so that other one must be just normal standard. So this one can go all the way up to Porcivore 5. You can have an iron sword, salis mundus and the raw pork chops, and depending on what kind of level you're after depends on what the number of aspects you have to use there. It's negligible instability as well, so it's a pretty easy one to get. Enchantment educational. You've created an enchantment to infuse a weapon with the very essence of knowledge and learning. Hammering such learning into monsters' heads will result in them dropping more experience than normal, depending on the level of enchantment. So this one can also go up to 5, I just saw there. 9 levels, 12 levels, 15 levels. I'm not quite sure what these levels mean on there, so I do apologise, guys. Zombie brain, salis mundus, and a book. And then depending on what type of level you're after depends on how many aspects you use. The enchantment for capitalist. You've discovered a weapon enchantment that allows you to profit from taking lives. Every time a capitalist weapon slays a hostile creature, there's a chance it'll drop an emerald fragment. If a capitalist weapon is used to kill a villager, it will instead drop one of the villager's emeralds. Your capitalist only comes in the 1, 6 levels, whatever that is. Oh, that's enchantment. I see. It's XP levels, isn't it? I think. Gold sword, diamond, block of gold, and a salis mundus. 16 infernus, 16 lucrum, and 8 tellum. Moderate instability on that one. The enchantment for corrupting. The nether is great and all, but it's also kind of a hellhole. The corrupting enchant allows you to harvest nether shards without having to be in the nether. A pickaxe enchanted with corrupting will randomly corrupt harvested elemental shards, changing them into nether shards. The shards only seem susceptible while they are encased in infused stone, so corrupting a shard cluster will have no effect. It only comes in 1 level and it requires 6 XP levels to be able to get. Now, netherwort, soul sand and salis mundus, it's a pretty easy one to get on, honestly. 16 infernus, 16 permutation and 8 vitreous. However, the instability is moderate. This is the one that I was talking about the enchantment for corrupting, that's the only way. If you put that on a pickaxe, that is the only way of getting the gluttony and what was the other one? Gluttony and greed, the shards, the nether shards. So just keep that in mind, guys. You probably need that on a pickaxe somewhere along the line. That is the enchantment corrupting. And last but no means least, the enchantment for fiery core. You've discovered an enchantment to allow the Chameleon pickaxe to imitate the effects of the pickaxe of the core. A Chameleon pickaxe with a fiery core enchantment has a chance of dropping clusters when mining certain ores. Clusters are a lot purer than raw ore and can be smelted for 2 of the ore's normal smelting result. Higher levels of fiery core increase the chance of dropping clusters. So the fiery core goes all the way up to fiery core 4 and requires up to a maximum of 12 levels of XP. Pickaxe of the core with some Salis Mundus with varying amounts of aspects. The instability is minor on that one, but it will allow you, like I said, to you can put it onto the Chameleon pickaxe as an enchant. This one here as an enchant, and it will work like the pickaxe of the core. Let's have a look at a couple of these enchants just straight off before we end this spotlight, guys. I have on here Corrupting 5. Now, when you come across normal ones within the world, you can go ahead and mine them with a Corrupting enchant on there, and you will get the chance that you will get the normal ones, but you will also get the chance that you get nether shards. So we've got 6 air shards, the normal ones. We've got 1 greed, which is one that cannot be obtained through normal means. It can only be obtained through that one. And we've got 1 wrath shard as well. That is, of course, the corrupting. If we go ahead, put that there. Can I add on to this one? So if I did consuming, for example, not that you would put corrupting and consuming on the same one, but if I mined this up, for example, it... I thought the consuming... Oh no, it's the cobblestone, isn't it? So if I do stone, and then did it, it doesn't actually drop the block, it just goes ahead and destroys it straight away. Same with dirt and stuff like that on there as well. What else have we got that you would like to see? Educational capitalist. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. And of course the fiery core. Let's go ahead. Can we put... I don't think we can put that on there. We'll give it a try. I can, apparently. So the fiery core, that won't work with diamonds. It will work with iron though. Has the ability to... You know what? Let me get another Chameleon pickaxe. No, you know what? Actually, the easier way is just doing that. So then we can just go ahead straight away and put the fiery core onto that one. And then we can get a lot of iron. And let's see if we get any clusters. There we go. That one was a cluster. And there you go. That is a look at some of those enchantments. So guys, I think that pretty much covers everything of what's in Forbidden Magic. I do hope that this has been some use to you guys. If it has been of use, then please go ahead and leave a like on the video. That would be absolutely great if you could. So yeah, Forbidden Magic made by Spiteful Fox. Again, the link to the mod itself will be in the description below. And I really do hope you guys will go ahead and go and check it out. It's usually... the Forbidden Magic seems to be a mod that is kicking around in quite a few mod packs nowadays as well, so I hope that you guys are watching it, and I hope that this is going to be of some use to you as a quick guide on what to do in Forbidden Magic and what things do and what things can actually do for you guys. So there you are. Thank you very much, Spiteful Fox, and thank you very much for joining me, everybody. Until next time, I'll be the Top Man. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, stay safe.